Peace, everybody. This is Kashim, 45 Strength and Fitness. This is the first upload of the year 2020. I hope you all had a great start to the new year. And if you happen to be watching this down the wheel of time and later 2020, 2021, 21, whenever, I hope everything is going well. Since a lot of people around the start of the year use this time to either get started on some kind of strength building or fitness journey or get back to one, figured I'd add a few tips on this video dealing with the latter part of that, how people come back to the gym from a layoff. This is not talking about coming back from an injury or some kind of seriously debilitating illness like cancer or something that you would have been hospitalized for. I'm talking about coming back from a layoff where life just got in the way. You thought you were going to be going to the gym, 2 or 3 days from your last workout, and those 2 or 3 days turned into 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 months. Maybe it's been New Year's last year, and it's been a whole year. Anyway, that's what we wanted to just tackle for a few minutes in this video. How you come back from a layoff really depends on the length of the layoff. So we'll look at it as kind of 3 different time segments. Say layoff of a couple of weeks, layoff for a couple of months, and then we'll just say anything longer than that. So let's start with that first and shortest type of layoff that we may come back from. We're talking about a layoff of a couple of weeks. It's funny, and this is probably why this topic was on my mind in the first place. Before this session that you see here, I'd actually been out of the gym for 2 weeks, unplanned, did not see it coming. I'm not surprised, my line of work. I think I mentioned in a few earlier videos that for my day job, I deliver mail, hiking 6, 7, 8 miles a day. And around the holidays, it can get pretty hectic. I ended up working, I think, 122 hours in the week before and the week of Christmas, something like that. So, I just didn't make it to the gym. So I ended up having a 2-week layoff. And what I did for this particular layoff is what I would recommend just about everybody do. When you come back, just pick up right where you left off. Whatever your training program is, just go right back to where you were. Same weights, same rep and set scheme. Whatever your program calls for, go right back to it. And here's where I would make an exception to that. If you've had a sudden weight loss in the last, the 2 or 3 weeks that you were out of the gym, or you have not been sleeping well at all, you've been exceptionally stressed, like maybe the reason you're out of the gym is because of some stressful event, whether it's something personal, you're moving, getting married, get divorced, child's born, something that's really stressing you out, and you're not paying attention to your nutrition, etc., the things that are going to help you recover. When you come back, then you do need to reduce something. What you reduce is going to depend on the training program that you're following. But generally speaking, you're going to have to reduce the volume, or you're going to have to reduce the intensity of what you're doing. I would not try to reduce the frequency. I would get back into the normal routine of training on your normal schedule. But in a case like that, I would suggest making a reduction in either the training volume or the intensity of your training. Now, if you're coming back from a layoff that's on the other end of that spectrum, you've been out, say, more than 6 months, up to a year or more, then I would come back to the gym as though I were a beginner. Even if you're not one, I would come back like I was a beginner on a beginner's program, a basic linear progression, strength building program, and I would take it from there. Now, the big question, will you ever get back to where you were before that extended layoff? Honestly, I don't know. It depends on a few factors, age and hormone levels, probably chief among them. But you have no chance of getting back to where you were if you don't get back in the gym and start going after it. So That's how I would approach the long-term layoff. If it's somewhere in the middle, a few months, that one's a little bit trickier. My general advice is to either go back to the program that you were doing, or if this is a time that you want to switch programs, you want to try something new that's a little or very different from what you were doing before, go ahead and settle on whatever kind of training program or protocol you're going to be following. But I would reduce just about everything a little bit for the first, say, 3 to 4 weeks. So whatever weights you'd been using on exercises prior to the layoff, I'd cut those by 40 to 50%. I would, even in terms of frequency, if the program calls for you to train 4 times a week, I'd probably start with 3 times a week for the first month. The key here is to pay attention to and listen to your body. I'm finding that the older we get, it is better to start too light than too heavy, better to start too slow than too fast. I would offer that same advice to you even if you're not older. If you're one of the younger viewers, you just happen to have a wider margin for error. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening to my thoughts on how to come back from a layoff. I hope it helped. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of it, any experiences you've had with coming back from layoffs, or any questions you might want me to answer. Feel free to leave all those in the comments. Again, thanks for taking the time out to watch this. If you enjoyed it and got something out of it, make sure give it that thumbs up. Also, make sure you click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can stay up to speed with everything that we're doing on the 45 Fitness and Strength channel for the old heads and the folks who aren't there yet, but you're on your way. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Peace.